If you're over 50, you do not need hundreds of exercises to build stronger legs. In today's video, I'm going to give you an outrageously easy routine to help you build leg strength in all the right areas that you can start using today. My name is Harlow, and I've helped thousands of people over 50 to improve their strength and mobility, and that's exactly what I'm going to be showing you how to do today. There are many different leg muscle groups that matter, but you can work almost all of them with just 3 simple exercises. So let's have a look at what those exercises are right now. So here is the outrageously easy way to get stronger legs. And as I said, you can do it in just 3 carefully selected exercises, but just be aware these are not going to be suitable for everyone. So please do get checked out before you give them a try. And if they cause you any pain, just avoid them. Now, the first exercise we're going to do is the goblet sit to stand, or the goblet squat, whichever you prefer. And this is such a good exercise because it involves a squatting movement and it works your thighs, your quads, and your glutes at the back. So already we're tackling 2 major muscle groups in the legs. I'm going to show you a few variations, okay, and hopefully you'll find yourself in one of these. So ideally, you're going to find some kind of weight that you can use. It doesn't have to be a dumbbell. It could be a bag filled with books or just something nice and heavy, and you're going to hold it really tight in towards your chest. Shuffle right to the edge of a nice firm chair. Keep your back nice and straight, and then bring your nose over your toes and stand up, and then put the movement into reverse, sticking your bottom out, keeping your back straight, and slowly lowering yourself down to the chair. Now, instead of resting on the chair, come straight back up and then go back down. So we want to keep that movement going throughout the set. And really, we're just using that chair as a little bit of a feedback mechanism to show you that you've gone down low enough, and then you can come back up again. Now, when you're doing it like this, for me, definitely the bias here is on my quads, which are the muscles at the front of the thigh. And if you wanted to work your glutes more and bias them, one way you can do that is to include a resistance band. Now, I've got a glute band here. You can get these very cheaply online. If you want to work your glutes, these are a great little tool to have in your arsenal. Slip it around both legs, put a nice bit of tension on the band before you start, and then repeat the exercise. So take your weight, hold it tight, come up, resisting the pull of the band. The band is going to try and pull your knees together, and you want to keep your knees separate throughout the movement. And this will activate your abductors a little bit better and work the glutes more. Now, with any of these exercises, I reckon somewhere between 10 and 30 repetitions is a great fit for most people. And you want to do 3 sets of each before you move on to the next exercise. Now, if the sit to stand variation of this is very easy, let me show you how to do it without the chair. So here's the goblet squat without the chair. It's exactly the same movement. We're just not going to have anything behind us to give us that feedback. So we're going to rely on our strength at the bottom to push ourselves straight back up again. So this is more, I guess, more functional because this is basically covering more of your bases. But if you don't feel comfortable doing this and you want the chair, that's also absolutely fine. The key is to keep doing these movements until you get a working ache in your target muscle, and that should be somewhere between 10 and 30 repetitions. 3 sets of that, and you're ready to move on to the next exercise. Before we go any further, I just want to tell you about a very special bonus I've created for viewers of this channel. It's called the Complete Guide to Building Muscle and Strength over the age of 50. And if you're someone who is a little bit confused about how to go about starting the process of building muscle and strength, you don't know what equipment to use or what exercises to choose, this is perfect for you. It's an exclusive 25-minute video that you can't find anywhere else, where I teach you all the ins and outs of building muscle and strength specific for people over the age of 50. So it's one of the best things I've created. I'm giving it totally for free to viewers of this channel. All you need to do is scroll down below this video. There's a link in the description where you can sign up. I'll send you the video straight away and you can get started. It's some of my best info, and if you use it, I hope you enjoy. The next exercise we're going to do is the Romanian deadlift. And this is a lovely compound exercise again, which targets your hamstrings this time, also your glutes and your lower back as well. So it covers a lot of different bases in one simple move. So for this, you're going to need either a barbell or 2 dumbbells that you can hold in your hands. And we're basically going to do a hinging movement, which is a super important movement for daily life. We do hinging all the time. So if we can be strong in that kind of thing, then that's a really big win for anyone. So what we're going to do is find a dumbbell or 2 dumbbells and hold them with your palms facing down like I am now, or your knuckles facing forward. And what we want to do here is have your feet about hip width apart, small bend in the knee, keep the back nice and tall, and keeping the dumbbells or the bar in contact with your legs, you're going to slide them down the front of your legs, sticking your bottom out without changing the angle of your knees. Once you reach that bottom point there, you pull the movement back up into reverse. Now, as I go down, I want to take at least 4 seconds to reach the stretched position, and the stretch I can feel here is in my hamstrings, okay, the muscles at the back of the thigh. So it's really important that we don't stop until we find that stretch. So I find it there. You can see here my back is totally straight. I'm not rounding my spine to do this. I'm keeping my spine nice and straight, and the movement is all coming from the hips. Essentially what we've done here is we've reversed the action of the hamstrings because they can extend the hip. And instead of extending the hip, what we've done is we've bent the trunk forward, which means that the hip has essentially gone into that same hamstring movement. That's why you feel it in your hamstrings, and that's why it's such a good strengthening movement. Again, you might want to do somewhere between 10 and 25 or 30 repetitions of this. If you can do more than 30, you need to find something with a bit of a heavier weight. And then at the end of it, what you want to feel is a working ache in your hamstrings, maybe in your glutes, and possibly in your lower back as well, but not a pain, more of like a working warmth, okay? A nice feeling. 3 sets of that, and then you're ready to move on to your final exercise. As a side note, if you're enjoying this routine, I've got tons more like it in my lifelong mobility program. You can find details for that in the description box below. So I've got one more exercise to show you today, and there's a big area of the legs we've forgotten about. Is this, the calf at the bottom. And your calves are so important for walking. If you've got weak calves, which many people do as they get older, your walking suffers massively. Research has shown that time and time again. But luckily, with just one simple exercise, you can strengthen them up. So the heel raise is undoubtedly the king of calf exercises. I'll show you it without a weight first, and then I'll show you how to do it with load if you want to make it harder. So find your bottom step at home. I wouldn't necessarily recommend one of these flimsy steps, but I'm just going to show you for purposes of this video. And you want to have 2 feet on the step with just the front of your foot on the step and the heels hanging down. Now, ideally, at this bottom point, you want to feel a stretch in both calves. That means you're in a really good position to begin. And the exercise is super simple. You're just going to push up onto tiptoes, probably 3/4 of the way, and then slowly let the movement come back down and find the stretch. So feel the stretch, push up, come all the way back down, nice and slow, 4 seconds down. Feel the stretch, and then you're ready to go again. Now, if you can do more than 30 of these in a row, you need to make it a bit harder. And there's a couple of ways you can do it. The first way is you can add load to the movement. So you can either add a dumbbell, which I'll show you in a moment, or you can put a rucksack on, fill it with some heavy stuff. And again, you've increased your body weight, which is going to help you to get more of a burn in the calves. With a dumbbell, it's very easy. You just hold it in one hand. Make sure you're holding on to something when you do this exercise. And then just having that extra weight has added to your body weight, and that's going to make the movement more difficult and hopefully land you somewhere in that 10 to 30 rep range, which seems to be so good for building strength and muscle. Now, if you don't have any weights around, you don't have anything that you can use, an alternative would be to go onto one leg. And you can do that like this. You can position yourself so that just one foot is on the step, lift the other one up like this, hang the heel down, and then up we go, 3/4 of the way, then all the way back down. Now you've doubled your body weight essentially coming up through the single leg. So this makes it very hard very quickly. So don't be surprised if you go from doing 30 reps with 2 legs to only being able to do 10 with the one. That's very normal, but you'll be able to feel it in your calf very quickly. Now keep going until you get that working ache in your calves. If you're doing it on one leg, make sure you do both sides. 3 sets of that per day. And that whole routine, if you do that 2 or 3 times a week, over time, it's going to make an enormous difference to the strength of your legs and grow you some muscle as well, if that's what you wish for. So hopefully that's been helpful and you can put that into action at home.